Welcome, everybody, to Movie.Cast. This is the podcast where we talk all about films. I'm Mike, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Amber and Kosta. This is the segment of our show called Trailer Theater. And basically, we discuss the latest trailers, we watch them, and then we react to them and discuss them. Now, the trailer we're going to discuss just came out a few days ago. It's Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales. There's no 5 in the title. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. So yeah, aka that movie series that you all liked the first one and then watched Disney drive it into the ground. So yeah, they're making a 5th one.
I got stuck on that ride in Disney World, right in front of like Captain Jack and like a parrot, just like for like 5 minutes, and then like everybody was smashing into each other because the boats just kept on going. I was like, all right.
I like how your very first comment was nothing related to the movies.
It is. I was stuck in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
No, but I mean like the actual films themselves. But
well, I was stuck in the ride, like I was stuck watching those movies.
Or I mean, you could say that like the movies themselves just sort of stuck.
Yeah, unfortunately. But unfortunately, Disney will keep making them. So now, a little bit of disclosure here. Amber and I have both seen this trailer already. Kosta is not, but we're still going to play it, and we'll all still react to it. So let's get right into it. We're going to play the trailer right now. Kosta, here you go. You can borrow my Surface, and we're going to play it right now.
Good old Jerry Bruckheimer.
Right?
I feel like I've seen that shot in like every Pirates movie.
It's just a reused shot.
It's called good cinematography.
Or laziness.
Yes.
Or CGI.
Only by name.
Find Sparrow for me and relay a message from Capitan Salazar and tell him death will go straight for him. Would you say that to him, please?
So that was
John
the
Silver?
teaser.
Is that he said Silver, right? No.
Captain Salazar.
Oh, I thought he said Silver.
He never forgets.
Yeah, well,
I
I just thought it's a Silver, like Captain Silver, and I think the last one was Blackbeard.
It was in the last film.
Yeah,
yes.
so I thought, well, they're
which
just
was
gonna
a complete waste of the character of Blackbeard and the actor who played him as well.
And so I thought he said Silver, so I was like, okay, so we went from Blackbeard to Silver, and I was like, all right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this. When I first saw this, I didn't know what to expect because I really haven't been following the news of this film at all. And to be honest, that's actually not a bad teaser. Like it doesn't look like, I mean, again, this is a very short clip. I mean, obviously it's only a minute, barely even 2 minutes long. All we see is Captain Salazar and his crew taking over a ship and, getting into this kid who's like locked in the brig or something. That guy at the end who doesn't know Jack Sparrow by name, only by legend, but yet Salazar's going to him and sparing his life to relay the message to Jack Sparrow.
To tell the tale.
But why do they have to take over a whole crew to do that? What did everybody else on the crew do to deserve to be killed?
Because it's a story to tell. He's the last survivor.
Also, he's not a redcoat. Everybody else, if you notice, was redcoats. Also, to me, it looked like well, I mean, it's the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, so they're all pretty much after like 5 movies. They're all kind of the same, but this one looks like they're taking the first one, which was Black Pearl, mixed with the third one. With
At World's End.
at World's,
yeah,
with
World's
the octuz captain.
Davy Jones.
Davy
Yeah.
Jones, right? Which
Yeah, it kinda has
another
that-
one.
yeah.
So, but because he has all the because his whole crew was like half like sharks.
They
and,
look more like ghosts.
and
Like these
yeah.
in
but
this,
these
they look like ghosts.
ghost creatures.
Yeah.
Because he what's his face? Javier Bardem looked like a zombie pirate underwater
Yeah.
ghost.
It was kind of cool with the slime coming out of his mouth
Yeah,
as he talked. That was kind of neat.
He looked like a zombie ghost.
And what a good actor to have as your villain. Like, for a series that has been running into the ground, like, to get a villain like an actor like Javier Bardem, that's actually a positive step.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm actually kind of interested. Kosta, what do you think? Since you were the one.
I mean, I
live
agree. I
reacting
was just
here.
about to say, like, Bardem is obviously one of the. He's on the short list of actors that play the villain very well. Now, really, the only thing that could ruin the movie and drag it down is if you just get a phoned-in performance by Johnny Depp. Like, that's the thing. We know the character of Jack Sparrow so well to this point.
Yeah.
It's like, I bet he probably just sleepwalks through like these movies. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, he gets paid like millions of dollars for him.
It's his only. It's basically his only source of income. If you look at his box office over the past.
This is where he makes that. This is the movies that gave him his own island.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what's funny is like he tried to get back into doing something different. We did Black Mass, and that sort of bombed. And he's like, all right, where's that script for the 5th Pirates movie?
Sure, I'll sign on to like Pirates 20.
Give me the papers.
Like, he was done playing Jack Sparrow until Black Mass bombed. He's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I need an island for my island.
Oh, and then he did that, and then of course he did the Alice sequel. So he's just like,
And you know, so the one comment I heard about like the Pirates movies in general, a good criticism by the CinemaSins crew, was they made a really good comment in one of the Everything Wrong With videos where they said that what made the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie good and fun was that it was zany, swashbuckling pirate action.
And we don't see that we didn't see that at the time.
So tripling down on the supernatural was a bad idea. And I do think that's what kind of doomed World's End and Dead Man's Chest, is that they focused more on the supernatural. And not only that Johnny Depp's performance as Jack Sparrow in the first movie was a surprise.
Because nobody expected it. Again, like nobody expected a swashbuckling movie that nobody's really done for the last
the pirate genre was dead.
Yeah, like 50 years, maybe more.
There were producers on the set of the first Pirates who were literally like looking at the director like, guys, Johnny Depp's ruining this movie. That's legitimately what they thought. They thought he was ruining the movie with his performance of Jack Sparrow.
it ends up being one of the most iconic.
Yeah.
And then the problem became is that then they wrote his character for humor. And that's where you got into the issue of they tried to force running jokes that weren't really
not just
good
that,
forces.
but also when you were talking about the supernatural, because now you're bogging down the story with lore that didn't exist in the first movie.
Right.
You know, there was no precedent for that, and now you have to try and cram all this crap in, and it's changing. Each movie adds another, and this one's adding another supernatural element. Now we have ghost zombie pirate thingies.
Underwater.
Underwater.
But they're not.
They're not.
But they're
I mean,
not.
I don't know. It's just another supernatural thread in a movie. Like I said, I know I kind of went off on a tangent talking about Black Sails, but the movie, or not the movie, but that's a show where it's like the swashbuckling, it's the action. It does have some humor. Right. You know, and it tells a really interesting story.
Right. The reason the first Pirates was a great movie is because it was one of those movies where it was fun and entertaining, but you could also just kind of sit back and relax to watch it. It was like the ultimate summer movie.
Right.
You know, where it had its level of seriousness, but it also had its level of humor and
I'd like to know,
entertainment.
I don't know what pirate in history was the exact influence. Well, at least Johnny Depp said he was influenced by Keith Richards for the character, for the personality of the character. But I'm like, when the writers wrote the
I
initial
think they wrote
script,
him straight, right? They wrote him like straight.
Right.
Well,
Like
there's
because it's Johnny Depp and the way he was a hot pirate.
Right.
And he still is, even with his craziness.
It's funny because in history and also again in the show Black Sails, there's the character named Jack Rackham, and Jack starting out is kind of like he's like an inexperienced pirate. He's always worked under somebody, but he's worked his way up, and he's been like a source of humor. But as the series has progressed, he's gained more confidence, more power. He's become more serious as the series has gone on. And I'm thinking that's kind of how like I almost envision them doing. Like, cause in the first, like Jack Sparrow in the first movie, like none of the pirates took him seriously.
Nope.
Right.
Like he's like this bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
You know.
He basically re-earns his captainship by the end of the movie.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing is him trying to get his ship back and
like,
he takes him
but I don't know why
seriously.
they couldn't have done like that whole evolution. Like why couldn't Jack Sparrow be, kind of like this like silly guy, but he over time becomes more serious.
Right.
Like and I think
instead they went opposite. They made him more comedic as the series went on.
Right, and you're right. They just, it seems to be a thing that Disney loves to do, but like if it works one time, then they just go all in and are afraid to make changes.
Yep, the status quo.
I would like to see a Pirates movie, but do like an actual, like what the Pirates movies of the 40s and 30s and stuff like that were like, with like trying to find treasure and instead of like being on the seas for the like time, like going on a crazy island, kind of like an Indiana Jones thing. But but with Indiana Jones, like Indiana Jones and like his sidekick, more like Captain Jack and his crew and whoever else, and then trying to get some kind of thing, because that's what pirates do, is they try and find treasure, and that's kind of what I want. And then just not go too crazy with like what we're saying, like with the ghosts and the mystical stuff, but just like put all that into trying to get whatever it is that he's trying to get.
And I agree with that. And
like not like Temple of Doom, but like like the first Indiana Jones and the third one where he had to go through a maze, like something like that would be fun.
And that would be fun. And then not only that too, I would love to see them go back to the sort of smart writing they had in the first film, where Jack had his own agenda the entire movie. It had that underlying theme of he always knew what his plan was, and he did all these little tricks and these little manipulations.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope that they try to find a way to get back to, where instead of focusing on the character's humor and like, oh, he'll do this because he's just wacky.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get back to where he's doing this, and maybe it's a little off kilter, but he's doing it for a purpose, and there's a meaning behind it. Go ahead.
Well,
Kosta.
but now it's kind of boiled down to, it's like he gets involved in these things just because he's Jack Sparrow.
Right. Exactly.
He doesn't have his agenda. It's like if he. Right. The way I've envisioned it now, like Jack Sparrow's just out on the open sea drinking rum the whole time and then complaining when there's no rum, and then he just gets thrown into a mess because somebody out there for whatever damn reason is trying to find Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, this teaser reminded me a lot of the first scene in Dead Man's Chest, or not the first scene, but one of the first scenes where Bootstrap Bill appears and it's like, I told you, Jack, it's already too late, and gives him the black mark, and the Kraken then comes after him. That felt like the same thing, because that threat is so generic. Like, death is coming straight for him. Okay, he's had Davy Jones coming after him.
He's already technically died.
Yeah, he's died.
I was going to say, he's been dead and brought back from the end of the third one.
Right, which I actually thought
at World's End.
See that, and I actually did like that little twist at the end of Dead Man's Chest. Like, again, I'm not saying
where they killed him off.
Right, yeah. I'm not saying the trilogy was awful in total, but it had moments. Even in the third film, that most people seem to hate the most.
That one's just a trippy, because
right. Well,
it gets all trippy.
And those are the terrible parts. But it did still have moments, and I hope that this film has more moments like that than it does the trippy, stupid parts, like Jack Sparrow talking to two versions of himself.
Yeah.
Like that, like there was no reason for that. That was such a silly.
I just think I actually
They
wanna
had no
see
other way to convey Jack's
Yeah.
inner thoughts, so they're like, oh, let's have him have weird conversations with himself. Like,
I think like I said before, I would like to actually see like a treasure hunt movie.
right.
Like
yeah.
with pirates, with Jack and his crew, and not be it where like like half the other movies, it's like, well, there is like treasure of some kind of thing, but they kind of find it halfway through, and you see a little bit of.
And
them
then
trying
there's
to
a
get,
twist
and,
to them.
But that's not the main part of the whole thing, because there's like this love, and they're trying to get to something else, but they need this to that. I just want to see him just be like straight up.
Just straight up looking for a treasure that isn't like cursed Aztec gold.
And have the mysticism be like, make it be some kind of fact-based, or actual something in history that people can't find or whatever,
Right.
that like some legend to it, but put it in the movie so it'll be, oh, well, they're going after this and nobody's ever found it. Or some legend based.
And that's what they tried
Yeah.
with the last film, because then they did the Fountain of Youth,
which was kind of like
and it
nobody
was-
cares,
right,
Like,
yeah.
and that's why I was like, but do something, different, but make that be the entire thing, and don't do like the whole thing with the original ones was like the first movie I liked with the Keira Knightley and
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom, but the rest of the other, like the last two movies, like I was just like, I don't care. I just like, after a while, they were the most boring actors out of it, and that's why Johnny Depp is such, because like he was carrying that movie, and probably why so much comedy was on, because the other two mains, like,
Well,
their
but they filmed those movies back to back, like
I know,
or
I
at the same
understand,
time.
but I'm just
though.
saying, like, in
You know,
general,
so it's
their
not like-
characters just weren't interesting.
Well, right, but I think that's also a factor of the writing too. The
Oh, yeah,
writing
'cause it
kind
was
of
all
screwed it up,
consistent, yeah.
because basically, like Pirates of the Caribbean 3, Will and Elizabeth basically don't talk about their problems the whole movie, and then suddenly they get married.
But
Like,
then they're
like that was it.
But
Like,
then
that
it's like,
was-
but then they're not together anymore.
Well,
And
which I didn't mind that as being the twist, but the problem was that they didn't have enough of their reconciliation prior to like the
because
last
they're
half
boring
hour of the
characters,
film.
yeah. Or at least
basically.
Orlando Bloom was. Keira
Because they
Knightley
were
was
trying to
more.
triple up on all the double crossings and all the
that's,
deal
and
makings.
all that, it's like, and like even like the fourth one was like with Penelope Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm tired of all this like other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
let's just keep it close to
Mm-hmm.
Jack Sparrow and his crew, and then whatever villain. Even go back to was it Barbosa?
Barbosa, yeah.
Like bring it, because people liked Barbosa or something.
Jeffrey Rush was great.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, that was one of
it's
his best roles.
I would rather just do a treasure hunt and then have the hijinks with that, and then put a little mysticism. But just a straight up like Indiana Jones pirates treasure hunt with Jack Sparrow and his crew would be enough for me.
Fair enough. And just to point out here, just some quick notes about the casting. Will Turner or Orlando Bloom will be back in this movie, so Will Turner will be back. They do not have Keira Knightley listed.
Probably because
so
she's like, no.
It's unlikely that we'll see her. Mostly that's because the facet of the story that Will Turner is, basically the captain of the Dutchman, so he can't touch, set foot on land.
Except every couple
once every 10 years.
years.
So, also, Javier Bardem's playing Captain Salazar, who, from everything I can find, is not a real, pirate or anything. So
It's a Spanish name.
Oh, right. This is
Because he's
completely
Spanish,
fiction
he's a
created for this
Spaniard,
movie.
yeah.
It's not like where they used Blackbeard in the last one.
I mean, it's a part of
Right.
Of actual pirate history. I mean that'll, because I mean a number of what we think of in our heads as being pirates are people that either like they fled the United Kingdom or they fled the U.S. colonies, and Spain was like one of their biggest enemies.
Right. I have to see more. I have to see like an actual trailer to get a real good gauge of, how's it going to look from Johnny Depp's end of it? Is he going to act it well, or is he just going to phone it in?
I mean,
or is he going to be the parody Jack Sparrow?
I'm
of himself,
hoping that some executives over at Disney have pulled Bruckheimer and his writers aside.
Like, listen, we're making great shit.
Right? Yeah.
You better not fuck this up.
Right. Hopefully they learn from their most recent successes and have used that to influence. I mean, granted, like Pirates, they've been working on Pirates probably
For a couple of years
for a couple of years. I mean, in other movies like The Jungle Book and everything were being made around the same time, but hopefully they at least had the thought like, wow, this is some really great stuff we're doing here.
Get
Take
some good
influence from
writers.
this.
That's
yeah,
all. Just get
exactly.
some of those
yeah,
great writers in
hopefully
there.
they realize that people have like experienced fatigue with the series.
And I will point out, I do think that's why it's a good thing that they've waited a while,
Yeah,
because it's
instead
been a
of,
few
like,
years since
instead
the
of
fourth
like, oh,
one.
it's
So-
been about like 5 years or something like that, right?
It's been close,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's good, because now we've kind of gotten past, like, yes, there is still the fatigue, but I think for the most part, a lot of people have gotten past that fatigue of the series, you know,
like I said,
because they haven't been pumping them out every single year or anything like
But
that.
I know that very second though, or like once they've had a couple of those.
and then they're
you
going to
know,
be like, 2 more. We're going to issue 2 more.
I'm just hoping again. This
Well, and
is
Stranger
all.
Tides was 2011, so it's been
Yeah.
So
it's been 5 years.
Well, but it'll be
at least.
6
It'll be
years.
6
6
since
years.
the last one.
But I just hope that, because literally everything they hope for this movie, like anything positive, can be ruined by Depp phoning it in.
Thank you for watching this highlight clip from Movie.Cast. If you'd like to listen to our full audio podcast, you can click the link and go to SoundCloud. Or if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, we post new highlight clips every Friday. And if you liked our video, then please help us out. We are a young podcast, so we're trying to gain some traction. You could help us out by spreading us around, telling your friends.